When veterans return from World War II, the government needs a solution to the housing shortage. They need affordable homes built quickly. They turn to a man who makes gas stations. His houses look like, well, they look like gas stations. When you drive by a Lustron house, you may not notice just how different it really is.
People are intrigued about this house, and they have been for years.
It sort of blends into the neighborhood, even as more contemporary homes are built around them.
Once I saw it, I knew I wanted it, but I didn't know that I wanted it until I saw it.
What makes a Lustron house different? They're made of metal. So even the kitchen cabinets are metal.
Correct.
They make a little bit of noise.
Yes, they do.
A father and daughter start a campaign to catalog these unique homes, which are gaining more interest from nostalgic people. As less sentimental people tear them down. Whoever thought steel could be so cozy? Lombard, Illinois is one of those suburbs that has plenty of room to build homes after World War II. And today, 24 still stand in this town. Amy Thomas's family has lived in this one since 1967.
Well, let's go into the living room.
Okay.
The entire house is 1,013 square feet.
2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom.
Correct. Yes. Come in.
Yes.
And a lot of people want to do that. It's
Yeah.
like, really? It's all steel? Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone.
There's a certain way to manage a home made of porcelain enameled steel.
You never have to paint. You never have to do any type of construction work to it.
What's
and
the minus?
You can't paint.
Let's go to the kitchen. Oh, look at that. It comes in just a few colors and just a few floor plans. But after all these years, it's hard not to notice how unique it is. Look at this. It's like a piece of furniture, all metal. Right?
Yes. I just closed you in.
Yeah, I know. This is people start talking.
You right?
To hang pictures, you need magnets. So tell us about the game that you used to play.
It's called Throw Elvis on the Ceiling. See Elvis?
Yeah.
Hold him flat. Oh.
Got it!
Yay! You win.
After World War II, Carl Strandland convinces the government to let him make prefabricated homes similar to his gas stations. His sales pitch? The Lustron home defies weather, wear, and time. Strandland turns out to be right. 2,500 are built. Many are still standing. A factory in Columbus, Ohio makes a dozen houses a day. The parts are loaded on trucks and shipped to the customer.
They would drive up, set up a framework, and then put the panels inside and panels outside, roof on top, and you had a finished house.
Tom Fetters is a research scientist. He has cataloged the homes in his book, aptly titled The Lustron Home. In 1949, they cost $9,000. That's about $100,000 today.
It was a good deal.
The story of Tom Fetters' Lustron catalog starts on a family road trip. To pass the time, he'd tell his young daughter Jean to try to spot the metal tile houses.
She said, "Oh, Dad, there's one. Oh, Dad, there's another one."
More than a decade later, when Jean needs a history project, she remembers the road trips.
And so we just thought, what is it about these houses? They look like gas stations, and that's weird. At that point in the 80s, you know, we didn't have the internet. We couldn't just type in Lustron and pop up a whole report. It was go to the library and start digging.
Ellie Quintana embraces the vintage outside and inside.
We've got the cabinets here. Everything slides open. And you can fit a lot of stuff in there. It's kind of old-fashioned and it's fun. You know, I was a punk rocker when I was a kid. Went through the goth phase, the rave phase. Then I just got older and I like pretty stuff. I'm just a big fan of pretty. So this is a Philco Predicta. They were originally made in the 50s, 60s, some 70s. Okay.
She has accessories from a few different decades, but it all seems to work together.
I feel like the 50s and 60s, it's kind of they had a big sense of wonder about everything. And it's just such a nice look.
Even the old photos on the wall aren't from her own family album.
This couch was originally from the 60s. I found those on eBay, actually. So I had been looking for some cool kind of yellowish swag lights. I have lots of Jim Beam bottles from the 70s. Here, there, and they're actually still full of Jim Beam. It's kind of like a gas station because we have a lot of snacks, but I think it's cozy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Production stops after 20 months in 1950 when the government forecloses on Carl Strandland.
So it was internal in Washington. There were some people that didn't like Carl Strandland and were looking for anything to get him out. Carl was an individual that stood up to others.
So maybe Lustron developed some enemies there.
Right. I hadn't really thought about that, but I'm sure that's true. Why should we, the lumber people, help you? Because you're cutting into all the houses we could have built.
Every time I see one, no matter where I am, I'll pull over and make sure I take a quick picture. And
Thanks to Tom and his daughter Jean, the childhood road trip game turns into a high school history project, which has now turned into a preservation project.
if we did get an A on the project, thanks to Dad, we do give him credit. I was talking to my girlfriend last night, who we're still friends, who did the History Fair project with me, and she's like, I can't believe that this project, it's the longest lasting History Fair project in the world. I mean, we're going on 30 plus years now.
Jean now runs a Facebook page where Lustron fans communicate and travel the country to visit these quirky metal homes before more are torn down to make way for people wanting the next evolution of the modern home. If you'd like to learn more about Lustron homes, you can find Tom Fetter's book, The Lustron Home.
Thank you.
Oprah's Birthday Wish.